dear friends. I am the leader of Estonian youth movement Blue Awakening, or Sinine Äratus in Estonian. I'm also a member of the council of the Conservative People's Party of Estonia, shortly EKRE or EKRE, and I'm a vice leader of the party's local organization. I have been a nationalist activist since the age of 16, and back then, 7 years ago, the situation in Estonian nationalist scene was pretty similar to what we heard about Czechia. But since the year 2012, it has been consolidated, because in that year our party was founded. It was founded on the basis of an old conservative agrarian party that had previously collapsed in elections. All their corrupt leaders had left the party and escaped to liberal parties. So I was among 5 guys who came into the party and provided them new leadership and basically made it into a new, truly nationalist party. In 2012, I also founded the youth movement, Blue Awakening, that works closely together with the party. Blue Awakening, what does it mean? Blue is Estonian national color, and awakening means a new national awakening of the Estonian people. Our first national awakening took place in the 19th century, and it provided the basis for Estonia to gain independence in the beginning of the 20th century. And the second Estonian national awakening took place in the end of Soviet occupation, when we had the famous singing revolution that was a short moment of very strong national identity in Estonia. But since that, Estonians often have forgotten their nationalist values. And when we entered the European Union, we came under the influence of the same liberal cultural Marxist ideology, with its destruction of national identities and the looming threat of mass immigration. Our party is the only force in Estonia that has taken a strong stand against all that. And although Estonia is not immediately threatened by mass immigration like France or Sweden or Britain is, in the long run, it is vital to secure our existence as a nation. Right now, only 70% of people in Estonia are ethnically Estonian. We have a lot of Soviet time Russian immigrants, and there are ethnic conflicts already between Estonians and Russians. And now Estonia's liberal government wants happily to fulfill the migrant quotas set by the European Union. At first we are getting 500 immigrants from Northern Africa and Middle East, and then it will definitely be more if they will stay in power. Our party entered the parliament in 2015. In our first elections, we received 8.2% of votes, and we have 7 members in parliament out of 101. Since then, our support in the polls has only risen because of everything that's happening in the West. And now our support is somewhere between 15 and 20%. This is mainly because Estonians see what's happening in the West, and they don't want it to come to our country. And a similar process has been taking place in Poland, in Hungary, in Latvia, Lithuania, and so on. Our countries truly are now the bastion of Europe. But being the bastion is not just a privilege. It is a huge responsibility. And to accept this responsibility, we have to face the problems of Europe in their entirety. The truth is that the West will probably not be saved without us. And as happy as I am about President Donald Trump, he's not the end of the fight. He's only the beginning of it. Because the heart of this liberal cultural Marxist ideology lies in the Western mass media, mass culture, universities, and the banking system. And this system will keep resisting Trump at all costs. This will be a huge fight yet. And we should not believe that we have won yet. In many Western countries, after a few decades, it will be physically impossible for a European nationalist party to win elections. The Western nations keep moving closer to becoming minorities in their own countries. And this means that the probability of the West being saved through elections is very low. And this is a dark picture. So, where will the salvation come from? Well, some Western nationalists think that this is Russia can save us. But they too are mistaken. Russia is not a nationalist country, it is imperialist, just like America has been, at least until now. Russians themselves consider their national identity as something separate from Europe. Not a European nation in any classical sense. And it is impossible for a European nationalist to expect salvation from a nation who doesn't have a European identity. And there's no point talking about the growing numbers of Muslims and Chinese in Russia and all the degeneracy, alcoholism and so on that lies behind the facade. In fact, Russia is also one of the perpetrators of white genocide by actively destroying the national identities of many white ancient Finno-Ugric nations who live in Russia, who are stripped of means of preserving their language and culture. Their schools are being closed, their activists imprisoned under the charge of separatism. Russia even has accused Estonia of secretly funding separatism within Russia. It's very funny if you look at the map. So, Russia is not the savior. America is not the savior. What is left then? The only thing that is left, the only true hope for Europe, would be the creation of a bloc of independent nations of Eastern Europe, the Intermario. We are the healthiest and purest part of Europe, and we may very well be the only chance that Europe has. And this means we have to put all our efforts towards building this bloc of nations. There is already the Visegrad Group, an alliance between Poland, Czechia, Slovakia and Hungary, but there needs to be more. Visegrad has to be expanded to Baltic states, Ukraine, Belarus, Romania and the Balkan states. And this also means we have to get over some historical conflicts, or at least put them on a temporary hold until Europe is saved. Hungarian and Slovakian nationalists have to work together. Polish and Ukrainian nationalists have to work together. Serbian and Croatian nationalists have to work together. If the earth was being threatened by an alien invasion, would you still refuse to cooperate with your historical enemies? Well, I have news for you. Europe is experiencing an invasion of aliens. We have to work together. Because otherwise, we will not have Intermarium. And without Intermarium, Europe might never rise again. And for Intermarium to work, we also have to facilitate the exchange of culture and ideas between these countries. The influence of Intermarium has to become stronger than the influence of the West. And we need an infrastructure for that. I propose that every nationalist party in Eastern Europe should make developing this infrastructure a part of their program. Ideally, we would have a super high-speed railway all the way from Estonia to Latvia to Lithuania to Poland to Slovakia to Hungary to Romania. And this would connect Intermarium and allow nationalism to travel all around Eastern Europe. And Intermarium will make Europe great again. If one day there will be a liberation of the Western European Caliphate, we will be the liberators. We have to work together for that goal. This might be the most important thing there is in the world. We have to work together.